I want to come to someone that who's been around for so long. There's hardly anything left to talk about him. But is there a little issue with Virat Kohli and spin? Because if you look at the numbers in the last few, say 2 or 3 years, you look at Virat Kohli's numbers, his averages against spin have dropped. I'll be fair here. Everybody in India, in this Indian team, everybody's average against spin has dropped. He's at 18 outs in recent times. He's averaging 27. That's not the Virat Kohli which used to come and dominate. You know Virat well. What do you think of him?
It's a bit of a detailed answer, Harsha. I have 3 points as soon as you asked that came to my mind. The first one, because you play so much white ball, you play on much better pitches and you're attacking most of the time when you play white ball cricket. So your ability to defend balls reduces considerably and you work a lot lesser on defense as well. That is one. Two, being an Indian cricketer, when you come from domestic into an international setup, you try and get better at playing pace bowling, which will be 75 to 80% of the time what you will be receiving as a batter. Now, the third point I've forgotten, Harsha. When I remember, I will tell you. I'm sorry, viewers. My line of thought was so deep into these 2 points. The third point I did forget. But I can tell you one thing.
There's a nice 3-letter word for it. There's a nice 3-letter word. 2 3-letter words come to mind. One is kid, which you just called Bumrah. The other is the outcome of being a kid, which is age. It happens to me all the time. You'll be amazed how often I'm looking straight into camera and I've suddenly said, oops, what was it that I wanted to talk about? I just had a feeling, and this is something that former players have told me for a long time, which is that as you get older, it takes a little longer to come back from a break. Should Virat Kohli have just gone and played 80, 100 balls in a Duleep Trophy game? Or does he now know everything? I mean, he's been around he's one of the greats of the game, so who am I to talk about him? But can he just back himself with his extraordinary work ethic and say, I'll practice in the nets and that'll be enough for me?
Well, I think he's gone through the whole gamut of playing this sport and he knows where he stands with it. If he requires to deal with an issue, he will deal with it. For example, in the 2022 IPL, when his bat wasn't going at his best, he did work on certain aspects of his batting, mainly the trigger movement, his initial movement, where he wants to be at the point of delivery. And he put a lot of work into that off the field. Now, at this point of time, the first innings, he went out playing a big cover drive, nicked off. And we showed it on air, how on the second innings he's come back and immediately reversed that thought process. Let me leave that ball now. Let me take his time. So that's what it takes for a great man like him. Just a mental fine-tuning. If you're going to tell me because he's going to play a Duleep Trophy, he's going to come and play Mehdi Hassan Miraj better, I will definitely debate against it till the cows come home. For the moment, though, he will say one thing. He played the wrong shot or he executed his shot wrong. And I will be very surprised if he does it in the innings that he's going to play in the near future. Let it be Kanpur for the moment. You won't see him repeating that mistake. I think speaking to him as well, he has gotten to a stage where his body is telling you cannot bat long hours in the nets like before as well. You know, he wants to keep his mental energy of his batting as much as possible and uses it, you know, very wisely, let's say. And interestingly, Harsha, a lot of the batters these days, the ones who are experienced, seem to bat a lot lesser and work on their fitness and the mental side of things a lot more.
I could not agree more. There's a celebrated story of Sunil Gavaskar not batting the nets before the 87 World Cup. He just took throwdowns. I think Tendulkar had got to a stage where he was taking throwdowns. One of the side effects of being Virat Kohli and having to play to the standards that you have created for yourself is that everything gets questioned after a while, and there's such a vast army of fans that they want to know too, and so there will inevitably be discussions about Virat Kohli. All I'll tell you is his last innings, one of his last innings coming into this in India before this was 186. When he gets it right, he'll go and get big ones. TK,
sorry, Harsha. So
have you remembered the third one? You remembered the third one?
Yeah. And also, correct. The third one was the fact that he did have 3 good net sessions in UK with Ryan Tenduskar. Yes. So it's not like he's not been completely batting.
No, he was. He's aware. I don't look. You might talk about Virat Kohli's form or whatever. I don't think anybody, even his fiercest enemies, can ever point a finger to his work ethic, to his preparation, to his planning. That will never be in question till the day he plays his last game. Now, have you ever been in a situation where you might have got an inside edge and didn't know? Now, was that a flutter on the Virat Kohli dismissal? Was that a little flutter on the sound recording machine? Could it have come with bad hitting pad? I mean, I think there are now people who know it. But has it ever happened to you that there's been an inside edge you didn't know?
I've always felt I didn't nick it, but the umpire heard it. That I felt a lot, Harsha. And he's always wrong, the umpire. That I can tell you for sure. The other way around, I'm just trying to think. I would like to say no to it. But on a serious note, though, jokes apart, there are two things that when batting, two instances that you can miss. One is the bat hitting the ground and the ball hitting the bat at the same time. Then you kind of not get the feel that you would if your bat doesn't hit the ground. The second one is bat and pad together. If the impact is at the same time of the pad and bat, you don't know which one has come first, but you would know whether it hit the bat or the pad for sure, but you don't know which one came first. That is a doubt that has happened when practicing a lot, and it does happen. In this case, he's completely missed it, which tells me that. And Virat is someone at times when it is not hit, he feels it's hit. So this one, I'm surprised it's the other way around. A very rare occurrence, must say. He's had the problem that I generally have, but on this one, it's a very rare one.